Troubadours.
Stay.
Yeah, no, no.
Also stay.
Ah. That was alright.
You got a little stool for a foot.
Okay, but only if I also have.
We haven't seen it. We didn't see it.
Was here a moment ago.
I don't doubt that. But it is,
Did he
it
get
is
wrapped
not
up in
here
the backpack?
now.
You know, he found it.
Oh, wait, very good.
What'd you lose?
He must have run misplaced his face covering, but he hasn't.
Well, I hope it's still clean.
You'll have to use duct tape now. Doesn't work as well. All right. All right. Well, we are ready.
Good afternoon, my lords and ladies. And thank you for joining us at Show at Flair and our tiny little horseman stage that brings a vast amount of music from different time periods. If you are thirsty, we have refreshments just beyond the stage. Hungry, right over there, we've got some fine fixings. And restrooms, if you need them, are there just beyond. And then over by the castle, we have what we're all used to. Now, without further ado, because I've already talked so much as it is, I present you with the Tulstin Troubadours. And please, feel free to remove your face coverings and breathe while you're here.
Of course, we did have a debate whether this was actually the horseman stage or the Norseman stage, because we've seen more Vikings on the stage than knights. So either way,
But how many horses have we seen on the stage?
no horses whatsoever. None.
I mean, I'm sure we could tie one off all the time.
So that's a shoulder-mounted part. Cool.
We're just on fire today.
All right, so we have a set list, but we're going completely off the set list because why not? We're going to start with the song by King Richard in hopes that, well, don't tell him, he is going to become king. He's not king yet. So it might upset his father a little bit, but Count Richard. The song that he wrote while he was in prison, coming back from the Crusades. And the words mean,
Though I am in prison, with a little effort and help from my friends and barons, I can still sing a song.
I get by with a little help of my friends. First version.
First version.
don't tell Henry that his son is about to be king just next year, no less. So it will ruin his day, and he's having a bad enough day messing with the sheriff as it is. Peppy! Let's do Bacadena. Right. This is a song in honor of Bacchus.
Bacchus!
All the wonderful things that he's given us, which is mostly wine. And then white wine, red wine, blush wine, sparkling wine, good wine, cheap wine.
Would you like some cheese with that wine?
Some cheese.
Wine.
If you had a choice to drink wine or be skinny, which would you choose, red or white?
Exactly.
It's like you just know me so well. I mean,
You are done with that.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I haven't had this
Reset.
wine yet. I'm too sober for this song.
I mean, we can fix that.
I can choose song now.
I just forgot what we were going to play next.
Well, now we're gonna play Tortillon.
No. You cannot do two wine songs in a row. You have to.
Well, you know, I mean,
You have to do a cheese song in between two wine songs. It's required.
I love cheese in my wine.
why am I going this fast?
Yeah.
So delicate.
And that's quite enough.
I thought you were going to hit me there for a minute.
No, I have relatively good spatial awareness with the bows. I almost never punch myself with them
Anymore.
I'm wearing long sleeves to hide all the puncture wounds from every time I jab the bow into my arm on accident.
Don't do that, it hurts.
It hurts.
What are we gonna do?
Well, you said cheese songs, so con joie.
Yeah, I mean, that's about as close as you get to a cheese song.
So the first verse is, when I see winter approaching, I look for a host who sets a fine table with mutton and duck and chicken and beef and venison and pork and glass trays full of cheese.
Tofu.
No tofu.
No.
I'm so sorry. No seitan. It's a very Middle Ages were a dark time, especially for vegans.
To heck with this, I'm going to China.
They all survived.
Yeah.
Wazoo!
I hate to end this song on English, but that is the last word. Oh, wazoo. All right, we should do another song.
Ideally.
I mean, otherwise I have to juggle, and
Yeah,
that doesn't end well.
or tell jokes.
That's worse.
Yeah.
I could dance, but probably not the best thing to do right now.
Or no.
So why do you not see Count Richard wearing a cloak
Oh
today?
no.
Because then we already have one Cape Crusader. I know, that's why we play these. We don't,
Okay.
we just, yeah.
Very good.
They only get worse. And we have worse.
What if we played the song? Because that's what we're good at.
Macabre, yeah.
Which one am I?
I need a tune while I talk. So we're going to do
For
a
some reason
song
this one stays in tune and the others don't.
by Macabre, who was
Who is that?
Eleanor's troubadour before she married King Louis. Now Louis was raised in a monastery. He did not believe he was going to become king, but it fell out that he ended up with the throne. So he was not as fond of the finer things in life, such as music and dance and nice clothing, all of which Eleanor was quite used to. So she had to give up on some of those things when she married him, which was kind of interesting because she actually was wealthier than the King of France when they got married. She was 18 and one of the wealthiest people in the world. Her father had gone to the Shrine of Sloss, the great pilgrimage, the Camino, and because he wanted to get right with the church. And on his last day of the trip, he ate some bad fish. And so he actually died at the shrine from bad fish. And so she got word that her father was dead, and she just inherited all of Aquitaine, which was bigger than France. And at 18, they decided she should probably marry someone who was equally rich, or else it might cause even more problems. So she married Louis. And this is already went out of tunes. And so she had to give up her troubadour. But this song he wrote, and as I was going through the meadows, down by the river, I heard the voice of a shepherd and that of a young maiden. And they were talking. And the shepherd was obviously proposing romance, because it is springtime and that is what springtime goes. And she was having none of this because she was so concerned by the various news that she had heard from the world. And she had heard stories of how husbands, when they leave, would lock up their wives. And when they came home, they would wonder why their children looked more like the guardsmen than they did like them. I can't imagine why King Louis didn't want Eleanor hearing songs like this.
Well, considering that she ran off with somebody else eventually, that might not. I mean, he wasn't wrong.
Yeah.
He's nuts, but he wasn't wrong.
Canto per fondos del que la alegra, así la voz de un pastorillo a una mantita cantar. Stella del Consultar, ambos fracturados en sky, amapedo new prospera, así la voz como a cantar, vete jóvenes va de shahar, come nosotros copiar.
Hey.
Thank you. I think we probably have time for one more song,
See who's in here.
perhaps. I mean, I had too much coffee, so we're kind of playing really fast. But...
11:50 currently.
All right, excellent. So we should finish with the song about May, because it is May. This was more appropriate a couple weekends ago because it's the first day of May, and it talks about all the good things that come with springtime. The flowers are blossoming, romance is in the air. It doesn't talk about the pollen count or the mud or
Sneezing.
the sneezing,
The crying.
the humidity, or all that. Something like that is correct.
Oh, drum is there. It's a sneak drum. Hold on, wait for me.
I got it. Great.
Troubadours.
We are the Tulstin Troubadours. We'll be back on the stage at 2:45. We'll do a set all about the various kings and lords of this land in hope of getting a raise. And hope you have a wonderful time till then. Up next,
Troubadours.